Great day, beautiful and amazing people. Demetria Sherrill here, your family's favorite financial strategist. On this week's episode, I'm going to be talking about how I have taken my life insurance business that I've once treated as a hobby and turned around and turned it into something so powerful. Being able to empower other families on how to build generational wealth, how to transform what was once complex financial situations into more simple steps that are strategized and constructed just for them. Most importantly, one of the greatest things about what I've been able to do, it's been showing people how to flip the script on what they thought they knew about money. So if you're ready to stop surviving and start thriving, then be sure to tune in. You don't want to miss this. See you soon. Let's dominate.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Creator Spotlight. Hey, Davina. How's it going? We are here today. It is Wednesday. This is the day that we host our bi-weekly show, Wealth Creator Spotlight. Listen, I'm Coach Rosie. I am your creative wealth strategist and real estate investor. And my co-host is Davina Booker. Go ahead, Davina, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I am Davina Williams Booker, and I am the lady. I am your insurance agent that specializes in final expense. And I'm super excited today because we have an awesome guest, and we can't wait to share her with you.
Yeah, so welcome. Let me go ahead and talk about our show today because it is going to be one show that is on fire. We have a wonderful young lady who we are spotlighting today. She has done some fabulous things and we want to get into it today. But on this bi-weekly show, we love highlighting those powerful wealth builders and then showing their transformative journeys from where they came from to where they are today. Listen, their success stories are important, they're impactful, and they are making a difference. But what we want to do is inspire others. We want to inspire you to go out and believe that you can do the same thing. So without further ado, listen, I've got to talk to you about this young woman who is absolutely phenomenal. All right. She is a wealth creator. So get ready to be inspired by the conversations that we're going to offer you today. But today, our guest is Demetria Sherrill. And she actually began her journey in sales and customer service, even selling fuel tanks to the Midwest. Like, go figure, right? Listen, Davina, right? Like in 2017, she says that she made a bold shift in her financial services business. And so starting with credit repair and then eventually becoming a licensed life insurance and supplemental insurance agent. So then in 2023, Demetria joined Wealth Creators, the community, joined the Wealth Creators community. And after following Marvin for 3 years, like, what took her so long? But anyway, since then, she's joined the Wealth Creators community. But then since then, she says that her mindset has shifted and results have skyrocketed, right? She's closing more deals than ever, partnering with purpose-driven entrepreneurs, and most importantly, educating her family and community on how to truly become their own bank. Now, this woman who didn't just want to be a person who gave information or just wanted information for herself, she wanted transformation. And guess what, y'all? She got it. So let's welcome to the spotlight, Demetria Sherrill, a true wealth creator who's not just making money, he's making impact. Let's go.
Welcome. So excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much. Great day, great beautiful day to beautiful and amazing people. It's a pleasure to be here.
Listen,
I want to say thank
you. absolutely love having you here today. Can't wait to talk. Now, but listen, I have to talk to you about this because I always talk to you about this every time I see you. And I know that people that are watching, they're going to go, yeah, that's right. Like, I Demetria, I think from the first time I met her, I looked at her and I said, girl, we need to create a doll that looks like you. Like, I think I think it would be one of the biggest sales ever. And I will buy quite a few just to give away to grown folks. Like I
That
still
is
say
true.
to this day, Christmas is almost here, and I still don't have my doll. Like, where is my doll, Demetria? That's all I want to know.
It,
Where's my
you
doll?
know, I will have to say that you have inspired the thought, and I am actually in the process of working on some things. It's going to be some things that come along with that dial. So I thank you for planting that seed, and I'm going to go ahead and get the process started. So thank you for that, and I'll give you the first one for free.
I don't need it for free. I'm gonna buy it. Like, I can't wait to buy the die. Like, I don't care what it costs, Demetria. I am going to buy a few of those dolls for sure. Like, I can't wait, and I'm so grateful that you are doing that because I think it would be an amazing sale. Like, I keep saying it, I keep seeing it every time I see you.
She
So,
does. She
but
absolutely does.
God is good, right? And when you see it, you got to say
Absolutely.
it. So,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
Absolutely.
let's go. Let's get into the real reason why you're here. It wasn't for that doll thing, but the real reason why you're here, and that is in your bio. You talked about how you went from customer service and all of that, selling fuel tanks and all of that greatness. But talk about where you've come from and now where you are today and how that's changed your life.
Absolutely. Thank you for that great question. And with you asking that question, I have to say the first thing that comes to mind is actually something that I wrote down in my journal yesterday. And I wanted to share that simply because it has a lot to do with where my mindset was as a young child. There's a parable in the scriptures that talks about the three talents that were given. And I remember the first time, the first several times that I heard that story. And anytime someone would ask me, what would I do? I used to be the one that would hide my talent because I had a lot of fear. I used to always say that I would hide my talent. If I had, if someone gave me a lot of something, I would hide it because I wouldn't want to lose it. And I was writing just some thoughts out yesterday and just kind of thanking the Most High for where I am and how my mindset has shifted because now I don't think nothing about holding anything. I'm always trying to grow and multiply everything that I have. So
Yeah.
to ask the question, where have I come from? That's for sure where I've come from in my mindset first. And I always tell people that no matter where you're going, until your mindset shifts first, you're not going anywhere. So for me, I had to have a shift in my mindset to understand the true blessing in giving, the true blessing in having knowledge and wisdom and understanding. And more importantly, as well, being able to partner and be around like minded people that can help you expand your mindset even further than what you think you have come to. Because we're never arriving, right? This is an ongoing journey that will forever be a part of our life. And so my mom has always taught me if you're the smartest person in your circle, I need you to find another circle. That's what she's always told me. So that too attributes to where I've come from. It has everything to do with having a scarcity mindset as a young child, being afraid to take risk all the time. And to your point of kind of where I started off in customer service, I have worked since I was 13. And I come from a very hardworking family. And all I know is to work, 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 work. I graduated from high school and was working three jobs at one point. I worked two jobs for 9 years in retail and in fast food. And when I think about it now, I just think about how I just was so unaware. I thought that the more hours I worked, the more money I could make. When in reality, there's the same 24 hours for every person in the world. I still have to sleep for 8 hours. I still have to drive to where I have to get. So there's still only so many hours I could give to each one of those jobs. So the mindset shift for me is where I would have to say is where I started.
That's powerful.
That
Yeah.
is powerful. And I would have to agree with you. That mindset is where it starts because, again, from my experience, we weren't taught like the thoughts that we think and the things that we feel is where that how we create what we have, and that
Absolutely.
fear. We were raised with that fear of like holding on to things. You don't know when
Yes.
you're going to get something the next time you're going to get it, so hold on to it. So I
Absolutely.
just relate to
Absolutely.
relate to that mindset and having the mindset shift of abundance because again with
Yes.
God,
Absolutely.
it's all about blessing others with what you have, and
That's
in
right.
order to do that you have to let it go. So just having that
Absolutely.
mindset of letting things go and not owning anything, and then that abundance will come back to you. So I totally agree with what you're saying. I just
Absolutely.
have to say that. No question from me right now, but I just have to get back off of what you just said.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we know that mindset has to be changed in order to move forward, and especially when we come from a place where we have not really been taught or been have been had the ability to move into the spaces where someone
Yes.
said, no, we don't think that way, we think this way. Or
Exactly.
there have been
Exactly.
times in our lives, growing up, that certainly our families have said things to us like,
Yes.
don't put yourself down, have confidence, right?
Absolutely.
All of those
Yes.
things. But we didn't really know what that meant, right?
Yes.
We didn't
Absolutely.
apply that, didn't know really how to apply it. And I think
Yes.
that one of the things that we've learned, or at least I've learned over the years and being a part of Wealth Creators, is how to apply that to your life, right? Like
Yes.
having that
Absolutely.
confidence to know that you can do. We don't try, we do, right?
That's,
So
that's right.
now having that mindset shift is huge
Yes.
when we think about creating wealth. The only way to do
Yes.
it first is through the mindset and making some
Yeah.
changes
Mhm.
in our lifestyle, right? Um,
Absolutely.
but thank you for that. That's really important, and I absolutely love that, and I stand with you very strongly on that one. Um,
Yes, ma'am.
so, talk to us about how Wealth Creators has shifted, other than mindset. What are some
Mhm.
things? I know I read your bio, but what are some things that you have done? Because I know we've talked about family, right, and your husband, and just
Yeah.
the epiphany, right,
Yeah.
of being in Wealth Creators, and then this huge light bulb one day sort of going off. What has been that thing for you and your family?
The light bulb moment for me, I would have to really say the power of collaboration. Since being a part of Wealth Creators and knowing that Wealth Creators is not just about one particular thing, how we all have different variables of what we bring to the table as far as a wealth creator, whether it's life insurance, whether it's real estate, whether it's trading, there's so many options. So for me, putting myself again in the community or an environment of other like-minded people, excuse me, that have the same mindset and the same ambition and the same drive. And what I've loved the most is being able to be more aware of even more things that are out there to do. My word, options, options, options. And I mean that in every facet of life, from decisions that you make to knowing what's available to you. It's all about having an option. When you are not aware of the options that you have, you continue to stay stuck in the same cycle of doing the same thing over and over, or responding to things or doing the same things because you're unaware of the options. So when I stepped into Wealth Creators and I was able to see all these other options and ways to build wealth, I seen the
Mhm.
power of partnership. I seen the power of other people that are able to do things that you're doing just with a different tool. We all have the same um, drive to get to the same end. So the tunnel is similar, but the tool to get through the tunnel is different. So for me, partnership has been major. And it also goes back to your first question of where I come from. And when I talk about that parable and how at the time of being a young adult, me being the one to wanting to hide my talent instead of partnering with someone else and figuring out how we as a body can work together to multiply this talent so that we can get to the same end goal. So I would have to say partnership has been the biggest thing for me in understanding how as a body collectively we make the bigger picture fit.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
definitely. So I'm curious, and I think Coach Rosie's curious as well. It took you 3 years. You followed Marvin for 3 years.
I did.
What was the hesitation? What?
It scarcity. I'm gonna just be honest. Scarcity. I was just starting to work on my mindset. To backtrack just a little bit on my journey, I used to work for AAA, the headquarters here in Michigan, the insurance company. And that was my first real big corporate job. I remember the first day I walked in there after I got hired, I said that I was going to retire from here. This is a beautiful building and people that got nice cars work here. And, I had all these goals and dreams. I'll never forget the day I walked in there. It's a beautiful building, waterfalls, just everything, right? And I worked there for 5 years. And at that time, think that was 20 I think that was around 2017. Yes, that was 2017. I started listening to Miles Monroe, Eric, E.T., the hip hop preacher, and I was listening to Les Brown every day like clockwork. They talked me into leaving my job, y'all. They convinced me that I could just do it all. They talked me into leaving my job without even knowing it. I listened to them at that time that I was working at AAA. I had also started doing Uber. And at that time, Uber kind of really just started. It wasn't really popular here in Michigan yet, but I had started doing Uber. And so on my rides, morning, noon, and night, that's all I listened to was E.T. the hip hop preacher or Miles Monroe or Les Brown. I literally can probably quote every one of Les Brown's motivational speeches. That's how much I listen. I know every single one of them. And so I quit my job. That was the first time I ever stopped working a 9 to 5. I was terrified out of my boots. Do you hear me? It already took me a long time just to even work one job. So when I first quit my second job, I was working at Old Navy. I gave Old Navy 8.5 years of my life. Why? I couldn't even tell y'all, but I did. So when I first started listening to them, my first step was letting go of Old Navy. I was terrified of working one job. That's how consumed I was in that mindset, that scarcity mindset that I had been working 2 jobs since I graduated from high school. So my first step was to leave that. And then I was just working AAA. Then I put in my 2 weeks notice at AAA. I had started a credit restoration business, started doing that. And I was still doing Lyft and Uber on the side because I was like, I don't know. So I had also ended up getting my license. That was the first time I actually got my life license. And I was selling Aflac, doing supplemental insurance. And I loved it. Did it for like a year and a half. And then I just kind of hit my first pitfall. I was like, Demetria, who told you that you could do this? Like, you got to actually get up and go to work every day on your own. Like, even when things are not working for you, you still have to do this. And then COVID happened. So of course, my clientele was there, would lose, their doors were closing. And so I ended up having to go back to work and I felt shamed. And so at this point, I seen Marvin I'm fast forwarding actually a couple of years. I started working and then I met my husband. I got married. Yeah, so I'm fast forwarding a couple of years. I got married. And when I had my life license doing Aflac, I would hear these things about life insurance, but I just wasn't getting the full nitty gritty. As they say, I was getting the sizzle, but I wasn't getting the full steak. So I wasn't really sure, but I knew that there was something that the wealthy was doing that somebody wasn't telling me. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what is this? So what happened was at this point, now I'm getting back into my entrepreneurial spirit. I'm reading books again. I'm listening to videos, but the same people that I was listening to are not actually, it's not moving me the way it did the first time. And that made me nervous because I'm like, I don't know why it's not affecting me like it did the first time. And so I found other people to start listening to, reading more books. And I had a therapist. That's what happened. I was talking to my therapist one day And she randomly that night, this is how my journey started. She sent me a video of Myron Golden. To this day, I have no clue why she sent this video to me. So when
Wow.
I listened, I thought maybe, he's in sales, so she know I like business, that. And then he also was teaching Hebrew, which I learned Hebrew as well. And so I said, well, I'm not really sure why she sent this to me, but I like his teaching, so I'm going to keep watching videos for a week. And then the following week, Marvin was on one of his podcasts. Marvin started talking. I was like, that's it. That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. I told my husband, he was like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, you're talking about this. I was so I just started following Marvin and following Marvin and following Marvin. But again, in my mind, I stepped out on faith. I tried to be an entrepreneur and I failed in my mind at that time. So I was still terrified, but trying to get myself back worked up. So it was a scarcity mindset shift that I had to still overcome a second time. One thing that that Myron Golden always says, that it's all about the system. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or not. If you can make $1 million and you have a system that works, it doesn't matter if you go bankrupt. It doesn't matter if you go broke. If the system works, then all you got to do is do the system again, and you'll have those same finances again. And I believe that, and I hold on to that. And that's something that I'm trying to hold on to so that I can build the appropriate system for my business. So that's what took me 3 years. I was listening to Marvin. I was listening to, what's his name? Grant Cardone. I was in some of his challenges. I was in Marvin's challenges, but I would never do the full thing. I would never go all the way through. And so I stopped listening to Marvin for a little while. And I promise you, one day I was just making some juice and I got a notification on my phone, like I always do. And it was Marvin's Path to Prosperity. Hey, we having a live tonight. I was like, man, I haven't got these texts in a long time. It had been like almost a year. And that was the day that I joined the challenge finally after 3 years.
That is so awesome. So it just took you a while. You were putting toes in, but you weren't jumping in, right? So, and that's okay, absolutely, right? Because God has us in a place that He knows the timing. And even though we're afraid, it may take us a little longer to get there. But as long as we get there, right? As long as we don't take all of our dreams and our hopes and ideas to the grave, we're good.
Absolutely. That part right there. I'm not trying to go to the grave full. I'm trying to go to the grave empty.
We are good. Thank you so much for sharing that. Like we must at some point make a decision about what it is that we truly want from life. And if we don't do that, then who, right? Who's going to, we can keep watching. Kind of like window shopping. If you want to keep window shopping forever, or do you want to one day go into the store with your head up and shoulders back and say, I want that. And that.
I want that.
I afford all of that. Like,
absolutely.
let somebody look at you funny now, right? Like,
yes,
when you
exactly.
Most people window shopping because they can't afford to do the real shopping, right? But
that's right.
I don't like window shopping. So
me either.
So the thing about it is the mindset. As you said, it all went back to what you started out with originally, and that's the mindset. So tell us this. Now you talk about you help others with creating wealth. Tell us how you go about doing that.
Absolutely. So utilizing the great tool of permanent life insurance has been a true game changer, not just in my life, because I have definitely been able to utilize it in my own life, but being able to utilize it in those around me, those that I care about. And what has been most important is teaching people, again, like I said, what they thought about money is probably not what it really is. Understanding the biggest areas that we lose money is taxes and interest. And once you get people to understand that, then it's like, how can we bring this knowledge now together, and how can we change this? What can we do? Do you already have, one thing I always like to ask people, like, are you saving systematically? Are you saving sporadically? So I utilize the tool of life insurance to help people redirect funds that they may already be saving, or I like to find money, find the money challenge, as we like to call it. and finding the funds that may just need to be redirected and allocated into a much more lucrative account that will be for the benefit of not just them, but for their family and for generations to come. And that also tags into, the title that I go by is your family's favorite financial strategist, because I don't look to just talk to one person. If we're going to change the dynamic of our community, this has to be a generational transfer of not just money, but of knowledge and of understanding. So I don't want to just talk to one person. I want to be able to sit down and talk to you and your children. And then once that person, maybe once one generation passes off, now that second generation is now ready to teach the next generation. So I plan to be in the lives of generations of families. And so that way our community at large will be able to have a positive effect on other people in their family by passing down the knowledge and understanding that we don't have to keep losing the taxes. We don't have to keep losing to negative effective interest. There is a way and there's a possibility, and we just have to become knowledgeable and apply the information that we understand, and we have to become disciplined and watch things change in our lives.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. That is wow. That is absolutely phenomenal when you start to think about not only are you touching the lives of your own family and generations, but when
Yeah.
we expand that to outside, right,
Yes.
Davina? It's like we get to expand that beyond where we are. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it just ties in back to what you said earlier about the talents. So you're the person with that 5 talents that has multiplied it. So you're spreading that
Yeah.
wealth out just for your family, but for other families as well. So kudos to you.
Absolutely. 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 It's so ironic that I randomly wrote that down yesterday and you asked that question.
It's beautiful. So we have just a couple of more minutes, Demetria.
Absolutely.
So tell us, or what would you say to someone who has been on the fence? Maybe they've been putting their toes in for the last 3 years. What would you tell them now?
Oh, what would I tell you? I would tell you to center yourself. I would tell you to center yourself. Find out what it is that you truly, in your heart of hearts, desire to do. And if it has anything to do with building generational wealth for your family, number one, Wealth Creators is definitely the community for you to plug into. That's first things first, because you have to be around, again, other like-minded people, people that are trying to get through that same tunnel. They may not be using the same tool that you have in mind, that you're passionate about and that you're designed and equipped to do. But if the mission is the same thing, surround yourself with like-minded people. Know what it is that you want out of life. And more importantly, know that you are capable. You are more than capable of doing exactly what's in your heart. Because if it's in your heart, then that means it's probably within you to actually do the thing. It's a destiny type thing. Right. So I would definitely encourage that person to stay in prayer, stay in meditation, to align themselves with their source, to make sure that they know exactly what it is that they want to do, to the point where they cannot allow anyone else to deter them for what they know that they're called to do. Surround yourself with people that will encourage you, that will uplift you, and that will help push you forward to do the very thing that you were called to do.
That's
Wonderful.
beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much for the opportunity to have you here today. We are always excited to see you. Can't wait to see that doll. It is fantastic. We've enjoyed you today. Davina, if you could take us out, that would be great today.
Yeah, so I have one more question for you, and this is
Yes.
really for you to let people know where they can find you. And if there's
Oh,
anything that
absolutely.
you told today, go ahead and let us know.
Absolutely. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and finally TikTok. I have graduated to TikTok. Still don't know what I'm doing, but I am on there. It's just my first and last name, Demetria Sherrill. You can always tag me on Instagram and or TikTok, Your Financial Strategist. You can also find me on my website, which is Phalanx, PHALANX. F is in Frank, S is in Sam, G is in Gary, .com. That is Demetria Sherrill at Phalanx, FSG.com. Yeah, so all social platforms is just Demetria Sherrill, your family's favorite financial strategist. Saying that a bunch of times, it's a tongue twister, I tell you.
Awesome, awesome. And is there anything that you like to promote? Anything that's coming up for you, or anything else?
I have something coming up. It's not necessarily open to the public, but it will be actually recorded. I'll actually be in Flint, Michigan next week doing a live presentation to a few people at their public library to talk about generational wealth, talking about minimizing taxation, talking about retirement planning as well. So I will be in Flint, Michigan next week sharing that information. However, we will be doing some recording so that people can also tune in to get that information. And if you're not able to make it to tune in, it's not a problem. You can always just find me on any social media platform to get further information or to schedule a free consultation through Calendly.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that information with us.
Thank you for having
Definitely
me.
go ahead and follow Demetri. Her information is scrolling across the bar on the screen. So definitely go ahead and follow her. And yeah, look out for her because she's coming with great things.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Demetria. Just one more announcement, and that is tonight is Wednesday. Join us for our free wealth creation webinar today with Marvin Mitchell. It starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, tonight. Somebody say tonight.
Not 3 days from now.
Tonight at 7 p.m. Listen, learn how to begin to create wealth. That is why we are here. We're sharing those success stories of others who are already doing it. But if you don't know, get in the room tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link has also been posted. So for those of you who have been watching, we thank you so much for spending your time with us today. And we look forward to seeing you guys in 2 weeks. All right. See y'all soon. Thank you, Demetria. Thank you, Davina.
Thank you.
Great day, y'all.
Thank you, ladies.